Thank you, Mr. Warden. I would like to advise that this meeting is being live streamed on the county's YouTube channel and is also being recorded. We currently have no members of the public participating here in person. Should there be any members of the public unable to join us this morning who wish to provide comments related to the item considered or who wish to be notified of the decision, they can send an email to planning@sdgcounties.ca. Thank you.
Thank you, Warden McDonald. So this public meeting is a forum for the public and council to receive information that pertains to the major open space amendment to the county's official plan, as well as voice any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the amendment. This meeting is being held pursuant to Section 17 and Section 21, subsection 1 of the Planning Act. And as previously stated, anyone wishing to receive further notice about the major open space amendment to the SDG official plan can send an email to planning@sdgcounties.ca. And I think now I'll begin my presentation. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Warden, fellow staff, and members of the public. My name is Lindsay Parisian, and I will be presenting to you the major open space official plan amendment number 23 for you this morning. So this slide is just to give you a very quick overview of what I'll be discussing. First, we'll begin with the purpose, location, and basis of this official plan amendment. We'll then review the progress that we've completed to date. Following this, we will look at the current official plan policies together with the proposed amendments. After this, we will then look at next steps and then open up the presentation for any questions that anyone may have. So the purpose of this amendment is to permit the major open space land use designation in areas outside the urban settlement areas. The official plan amendment will preserve the long-term use of natural or recreational purposes, as well as reduce the desire for lands to be deemed surplus or potentially be developed for other land use and other land uses. These amendments will apply to the lands within the counties of SDG within our jurisdiction. The basis of this official plan amendment was identified by staff and as well as local planning and conservation authorities. They've identified select sites that are to be redesignated to major open space. Therefore, this will result in changes to the text of the official plan, as well as select sites will be redesignated to major open space, and which will be reflected on our land use schedules. So looking at our progress to date, so for those of you who aren't aware, in 2018, our official plan was adopted, and several amendments have been made since then. On February 20th, County Council then gave staff or directed staff to proceed with this official plan amendment. Following this, amendments were reviewed by staff and also presented to our SDG planners group meeting on April 10th. Following this, official plan OPA 23 was officially circulated for comments and any questions. On May 10th, the notice of the public meeting was then advertised in several newspapers for today's public meeting, which is being held on June 4th. So now we'll take a closer look at official plan amendment number 23 for the major open space. Various sections of the official plan will be amended, specifically section 3.5.2.8, as well as tables 3.2 and 3.5, which we'll look at in another slide. So as you can see, this is the section in which the major open space policies currently reside. As you'll notice, currently our official plan policy does not include the rural settlement areas, rural district, and agricultural resource lands. The text that's highlighted in blue will be then added to our current policies. Further, the permitted uses of the major open space land use designation will be expanded. Currently, it does not include the forestry uses, natural areas, and agricultural uses managed by a public authority. So that wording that's highlighted in blue will also be added to the text as well. As mentioned, table 3.2, rural area and settlement area designations, that major open space will be added as a designation within the rural area as it currently resides in the urban settlement area. In table 3.5, for designations and associated permitted uses, the same text that we recently went through in the previous slide will also be added in this table as well. As previously mentioned, staff from our local municipalities, as well as planning staff from South Nation Conservation Authority and the Raisin Region Conservation Authority, publicly owned lands from these areas or municipalities, selected key sites in which they own and which they'd like to have redesignated. Therefore, it will result in amendments to Schedules A1 through A6, which we'll look at a little bit more closely in the next slides. So Schedule A1, we're looking at the Township of North Dundas. And I do want to make a quick comment for everybody to note here that the properties that have been selected by this township are highlighted in, I guess, bright green. To the bottom left-hand corner, OPA 23 major open space additions. Those are the properties that have been highlighted for us to review this morning. We have the municipality of South Dundas. So same thing, as you see all the properties that have been selected. We have Schedule A3 for North Stormont, Schedule A4 for South Stormont, Schedule A5 pertains to the Township of North Glengarry, and finally, Schedule A6, the Township of South Glengarry. So the comments received to date, we have not received any formal comments from the public at this time. Comments were provided by local municipal staff as well as Conservation Authority staff, and those comments have been embedded and incorporated into the official plan amendment that we are reviewing this morning. So the next steps in this process, after this morning's meeting, we will then incorporate any final changes or feedback that we do receive. Once we finalize the bylaw and the official plan amendment report, it is currently scheduled to appear on the June 17th County Council meeting agenda. If passed, the notice of adoption will then be sent, and the 20-day appeal period will commence. If no appeals are filed, the official plan amendment will then will be in effect. And of course, the final stage in this process will be to actually revise the official plan document itself, as well as update our GIS layer to include all those properties that we reviewed. So at this time, that concludes my presentation. I don't know, Mr. Mayor or Mr. Warden, if you want to open up today's meeting for any questions that we may have.
Are there any questions?
Okay, well, thank you everyone for your time this morning.